You know that feeling when someone shows up for you just when you need it most? That's what Uber is all about. Not just a ride or dinner at your door. It's how Uber helps you show up for the moments that matter. Because showing up can turn a tough day around or make a good one even better. Whatever it is, big or small, Uber is on the way. So you can be on yours. Uber, on our way.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Because it's really darned important. You need to understand how this works. You need somebody that you can trust to tell you the truth about money and investing and the like. I volunteer for that position. Give me a call. I'm Don McDonald. 855-935-TALK is our phone number, 855-935-8255. For those of you who may have just tuned in to me for the very first time, I have been helping people with their financial situation on the radio for over 30 years, starting back in 1988 with a nationally syndicated show on Business Radio Network, and culminating here on Como and on my podcast. 855-935-TALK is the number. Call. And if you call, you get a free ticket to Retire Meet. Now, you can get 2 tickets to Retire Meet. You can get the second one for only $5 more because it's a $10 coupon, and we have the special sale going on right now, our super early bird sale, which we do every year, just not as early usually. This is the earliest early bird. But get them before you don't wait. Because they're going to sell out. I guarantee the price is going to go up. And so you might as well either get it free or cheap. So give me a call, 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. This is a cool event. We love Retire Meet. It's our favorite thing to do every single year, and we're now 6 years doing it. And everyone is sold out. So that's how you get your free ticket, or you can just go get it at retiremeet.com. 855-935-TALK, 855-935-8255. Tom is still on vacation, but he cannot help but listen. He does listen. And you know, it's easy to listen to the show. You can listen on the internet. You can listen anywhere in the world. It's so cool. Tom had a good idea for the gentleman who wanted to take his mandatory required, his RMAs, his mandatory distributions from RMDs, from his IRA account, required minimum distributions. You can take them as a QCD. So you can take your RMD as a QCD. Doesn't it just drive you crazy? LOL. Which my wife used to think was lots of love. Seriously, I looked at a picture from him that said LOL on it, and it had like this sweet picture, and I went, it's not funny. She went, it's sweet. It's love. I said, LOL means laughing out loud. She goes, it does? Old school. Anyway, QCD, it's called a qualified charitable distribution. It's kind of cool because when you make a qualified charitable distribution, it's made directly from your IRA to the charities you specify, and it is your RMD. It can be your RMD, but it can be your RMD in a much simpler fashion in that you don't have to report it. It's done for you. It keeps your taxable income lower, so you don't bring it in and then take it back out. It just comes out right on the top line. So look into a QCD with your custodian. 855-935-TALK. That's our phone number. Give me a call. Do we still have Jamela? Okay, Jamela, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Yes. Hi. Good morning.
Hi.
Yes, I'm interested for those tickets, and I was wondering where it is. Is it in Seattle somewhere, or
it's in Bellevue.
Bellevue. Okay.
It's in Bellevue at the Westin Hotel, right there in Bellevue Square.
Oh, okay. Bellevue.
Okay. Did you have an official? Well, we have two sessions. We have one at 8 in the morning and one at 1 in the afternoon.
What day is that?
The 22nd of February,
Oh, I see.
which is a Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Saturday. Okay. And that's what time? You said 1 in the morning and
No, 8 in the morning or 1 in the afternoon.
1 p.m. We'll go to
Yes,
the
ma'am.
one afternoon. Yeah, I have some Roth IRA, and then I have an IRA, and I have a mutual fund and all that. And apparently, I should move everything to the Avant-Garde fund. Vanguard, sorry.
Vanguard,
so I
yes,
was-
Vanguard. I was going to say I don't know Avant-Garde Fund, but I do know Vanguard.
Sorry, I was closing out. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
That's okay.
And then,
That's okay.
Yeah. So because where it is now, it's like pretty high for the share that they take in or the hybrid.
The fees
that
are
they
high?
take in.
Yeah, sure. I think that's a smart move.
With it, yeah, and the mutual fund and
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the funds. How much money is in these IRAs and accounts altogether?
well, one is 33,000, and then the other one is about 43,000.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jamila, how old are you?
49.
Oh, you're young. Okay, cool. Go to talkingrealmoney.com. Take our risk quiz. Find out how much risk you can stand. At 49 years old, I would have a portfolio that was more heavily weighted toward the Vanguard Total World Stock Index Fund, and then the rest of it should go in the Vanguard Total Bond Index. It'll save you a fortune.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Do you need a little help with your investments? Set up a free, no-obligation appointment with one of our advisors at TalkingRealMoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Money matters, so we like talking about it here on the show, and we've been doing it for a long time, and we hope you'll stop by at 855-935-TALK and get some tickets to Retire Meet 2020. 855-935-TALK. Joyce, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Hello. Thanks for calling, Joyce.
Hi. Hi, can you hear
What's
me?
up? Yes, I can.
Okay. Okay, I'm a teacher. I'm thinking about retiring next year. I have about $300,000 or so in savings through the, we can take so much percentage from our salary and put it in savings. For a
Right.
while I was investing, and then it was kind of, I would read all these little plans they had. And then, luckily, about 2007 or 8, right before the big problem, I
The big
stopped.
problem. I like that
And
name.
then-
That's good.
Yeah, it was a big problem. And anyway, lots of people were really weeping and sighing about how much money they lost. And I thought, phew, okay. But I've been very frightened to go back into any of the little plans they have. So I haven't done anything but just accumulate
Right.
money that I've had deducted from my salary. And my question is, should I go back into those, or is it possible for me to even do something else with that money?
Well, of course, it's always possible to do something else with it. But
No, I mean, can I work through Vestry? But
Of course.
or do I have to speak to the plans that are available for teachers?
Well, are you still actively adding to these?
Oh yes.
Okay. Yeah, you can certainly. We help people with their 403Bs all the time. That's why we offer the free
that's
meetings.
what I have. Exactly.
We have we offer free meetings so that people can call us and say, "Help me with this one thing," even though we can't manage it for you and charge you for it, and we won't help you with it every day. But yeah, we help people all the time with that kind of stuff. And that is just because we want to make sure everybody does this right. We could leave you to your own devices, and you probably put it in an annuity because somebody's pushing an annuity. That's what they push in
I'm
these
afraid of
403Bs.
annuities.
Yeah,
You
good.
taught me a long time ago about annuities.
But you didn't heed the message though about being in. Being
Right.
in is better than being out.
I agree.
It all
I'm
you can
just-
always look back and say, "Oh my gosh, I should have been in," or "Oh my gosh,
done
I
that.
should have been out."
Yeah.
And you
I've done
can't play
for the
that
last
game.
few years.
We play games with our heads, with ourselves. We got
I
to
know.
stop doing that.
I know. Well,
But
this is
yes,
what
you
I would
should
like
be
to see.
invested, but you should be invested for your risk tolerance. It should be a portfolio that reflects your comfort level so that when it does go down, and that's the one thing we guarantee, I guarantee you that at some point in the future, your investments will go down in value. Guarantee it.
That's okay. Yeah, I understand that.
Okay.
So what should I
Then-
do then?
Well,
What
one,
should I?
Go-
Okay.
go to talkingrealmoney.com and take the risk quiz.
Okay. I will.
It's free. It's easy.
Okay.
Two, you need to get together all the stuff on your plan, all the investments that are available.
Okay.
And three, you can either call us here on the show or send it in via the website, or you can set up an appointment with an advisor. Can be on the phone, and you can just, email the stuff to them. And they'll spend a few minutes and try to help you to figure out how to best allocate that. It's really easy.
This sounds great. This sounds good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we do that all the time, and we
know.
don't pitch anybody anything. Do you know why we do it? Let me tell you why we do it. Because what you will do someday is when a friend of yours is getting ready to take their 403B out and move it into an IRA, you'll say, those guys at Vestory treated me really well, right?
Right.
That's why we do it. We're not totally altruistic. We know it works. It pays off years down the road, but it pays off.
Right. Right. Okay. Very good. Well, I
Okay.
will call. Monday
right,
is
cool.
Good time
And-
to call.
Oh, anytime. And you can even set up the appointment online. You can just go to talkingrealmoney.com and it says set up an appointment. And you can just set it up right there and say, I want to meet with somebody at this time and in this manner.
Okay.
It's really easy. Okay?
Okay.
But take the risk quiz
Thank
first.
you very, very much.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
then they can look at that too and see how your risk tolerance level compares with the portfolios. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Good luck. Thanks, Joyce. We'll see you at Retire Meet. 855-935-8255. That's the phone number. Love to talk with you. Teresa, you're next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Teresa.
Hey, I'm a newbie. I've been listening to you for Saturdays for about a year and a half. And
Okay,
I'm finally
good.
at the point. I'm a teacher, too, like Joyce. But I'm finally at the point where I can get a Roth IRA.
Good. That's great.
Yes, but I don't know, like, through the school district, there's a representative for some company.
No. Hey, okay, let's step back a bit.
Right.
You said Roth IRA, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you doing your 403B at work?
Yeah, I have all that stuff going on.
Okay. You never talk to any of those idiots about your Roth IRA.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, if any of them control your 403B, it's probably a bad 403B.
Yeah, just Washington, DRS, Department of Retirement System.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But you don't want to deal with like the third-party people, like the VALIC people, or the insurance company people who wander in all the time and say, "Hey, let me teach you." Yeah, you don't want them.
They're
You want
in
to
the
do your
lunchroom.
own.
You can go and meet them.
They're exactly. Don't go talk to them. Go call Vanguard. Just call Vanguard.
That's what I
How
wanna do.
old are you? How old are you, Teresa?
52.
52. So you still got a while before you're going to need the money. As I told Joyce,
and-
go take the risk quiz.
I got it. I got it written down. I'm doing it.
Then you will take a portion of your annual contribution, however much you can make. And let's say you can take a little risk. You're in the medium area. You'll put about 50 or 60% of that money into the Vanguard Total World Stock Index Fund.
I love it.
You'll put about 40 or 50% in the Vanguard Total Bond Index Fund. Bingo, you got a portfolio.
Love it. Love it. That's why I want to come to
And
retirement.
And the total cost of that portfolio, get this, total cost of that portfolio per year, 0.07%.
Wow. Yeah, right? Why am I not doing it?
I don't know. Why are you not doing it?
Where I can do that. Yeah.
Go do it. Go
I'm
do
doing that,
it.
then I'm not even gonna.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go to Alaska USA. They're my bank too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, banks, you should never invest at banks because even the best of them at banking tend to really be terrible in investing because they're still old school. They think they need that old-fashioned stockbroker in the lobby, and that's a big mistake. Thanks for the call.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Download the advisor interview form and find out if your advisor's a fiduciary at TalkingRealMoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Well, welcome back. I'm Don McDonald. Tom is on vacation. He'll be back with us the Saturday after Thanksgiving. He'll mosey back in. He'll be back in town for Thanksgiving because he does love his Thanksgivings. He does. One year, he was like turducken man. He did. He ordered a turducken in and turducked. So he loves Thanksgiving. 855-935-TALK is our phone number, 855-935-8255. Oh. I've been meaning to ask you a favor, and I don't do it very often. I think I've only done it one other time. I have a hobby. I do. Believe it or not, I have a hobby. And my hobby is reading short stories on podcasts. And I have 2 podcasts, and I would love it if you would listen. Go to Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any of your favorite podcast services. One of them is more for grown-ups, or teenagers. It's called Lit Reading, LITREADING. And it's all classic stories. They're clean as a whistle. The worst word in any of them, I think, is damn. And that's in the latest one, which is a Mark Twain story. The other is one I created more recently for kids. And it's classic kid stories, like The Three Little Pigs and Goldilocks. And I just did Thumbelina. And that's called Read a Storus. Like, read a story to us, but read a store us. It's a dinosaur. It's play on words. I'd really love it if you check those things out and listen to them, because I think you might enjoy them. If you don't listen again. If you do, tell some friends. 855-935-TALK's our number. Mary, you're up next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Mary.
Hello? Hi. I've been listening to you since almost day one, and you've been really helpful. So,
Thank you.
My question today is, you mentioned a while back that you had a list of REIT indexes. Is that only for Vestry investors?
Oh, no. What I was talking about, there are REIT index mutual funds.
Right,
and Vanguard has a terrific real estate index, a REIT index fund. And
which one is it?
I was just getting ready to pull that symbol up for you. And then, of course, being a terrible typist, I messed up. And so let's go. REIT would probably make more sense. Vanguard Real Estate Index Admiral Shares. There we go. And the symbol is VGSLX. And V as in Victor.
Oh, B.
G as in golf.
Okay.
S as in, I don't know what S is. Sarah, Susan. L as in Larry. VGS. VGS as in Sam. L as in Larry. X as in X-ray.
Oh, okay. I do.
And
what kind of?
It has tons of real estate funds in it. It has 184 different real estate companies in it that own lots and lots of properties. Its expense ratio is 0.12%, and it does tend to.
How come you never talked about before?
Well, we only think it should be used for a tiny portion of a portfolio.
Oh, okay.
No more than about 5%, because it moves opposite. kind of opposite from stocks. So the returns are actually pretty similar to what stock returns have been, with a different kind of volatility, but it's not as well diversified as a Vanguard Total World Stock Index would be. A Vanguard Total World Stock Index will have some real estate just like this in it, which is why we don't suggest it. We only suggest it for people who are building a more complex portfolio and are trying to overweight real estate a little bit, overweight small, overweight value, that kind of thing. So that's why we don't mention it very often, but it is a very, very good real estate fund. Thank you very much for the call, 855-935-TALK. That's our number. Stop by, and we will try to make life more easy, particularly financially.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Just about everything you need to know about money can be found at our website, talkingrealmoney.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Doesn't get much more real than your money. That is real stuff there. That is your real future. That is your real present. And that can be really confusing. So let me cut through that confusion for you. Help you make it make more sense, so you might just make more of it. No guarantees, but we're sure going to try. 855-935-TALK is our number, 855-935-8255. Stop by. Brenda, you're up next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hi. Thank you for having my call.
My pleasure, Brenda.
I'm a 30-year-old in the health industry. I'm a nurse, and I currently, through my hospital, have a 403B plan and contribute the most that you can, up to this year's $19,000 in my 403B with matching through my employer. Where I'm lost at, it's through Fidelity is what the company they use. Where I'm lost as to what to do is, you know, I'm doing what I can, maximum what I can, as what's allowed by the law to put into that account. How do I know what they're doing with it? What do I do to
that is a
have
good
a conversation
question
with somebody about it?
That is a really good question. Now, you had to have, at some point, made some choices as to the investments you put in the 403B through Fidelity, didn't you?
Correct.
Didn't they ask you to make some choices?
They have well, what they do is by your age. So it's sort of a, you know, you're You're in a target date portfolio. Correct.
Which isn't bad. That's actually a really good start. It really is a good start because it is going to be invested based on your age. You probably have what's your target date, 2055?
I don't even think that far ahead. I'm just trying to get my daughter through college right now.
No. I'm just saying I think the fund is probably a target date 2050. I think if they have a 2055. Let me go look. Fidelity target date. Because I can tell you what's in it.
Okay.
And
my question mainly is, should I meet with Fidelity to? I took your risk online and I've done all that kind of stuff, and it seems that I'm okay with taking a bigger risk based off of what I have done so far. And I don't, since I am still in my 30s, in my mind, I feel like the bigger risk you take now is going to benefit you in the future. You are so smart. You're so wise. One, I'm not blowing smoke. You have $19,000 that you put into these things. That is so smart. You are getting the match. You are wanting to get the most growth. So smart because I hope you have this attitude. The attitude everyone should have when they're 30 is that if the market's going down, I should be happy. I'm putting money in. I'm getting more stuff for less money. That's what I'm thinking.
You're smart.
When I was in my 20s when I started in 2008, and I was just like, just put it all in. I don't care. I'm in the healthcare industry. Everybody needs a nurse.
Yeah, and they will forever. Let me just look, though, what you have. Okay, Fidelity does have a 2055 target date fund. You might want to talk with them. But you've got to be careful because sometimes the people at the firm sell things on commission, even Fidelity people.
That's what I was concerned about, meeting with them. I have not met with them because of that.
They might steer you in a direction that is not in your best interests. Now, the best of the Fidelity... As I mentioned to Joyce early in the hour, that's what we do. I mean, you and I can talk about it. You could set up an appointment and talk with one of our advisors for a few minutes.
Okay.
Because we're not going to try and sell you something. I'm not going to try and sell you something. The Fidelity Freedom Index 2055 Fund, if that's the one that you have, is probably pretty darn good for where you are, because it is 90% in stocks. That's aggressive. Okay. That's aggressive. And if it is the one I'm looking at, the symbol for the one I'm looking at is FDEWX.
Can you say that again? If that's
the one, F as in Frank, D as in dog, E as in Edward, W as in watermelon, X as in X-ray. That fund, if that's the one you have, that fund only has an expense ratio of 0.12% per year. That's a good deal. Good. That is a good deal. And the portfolio is U.S. and international. It is well diversified, and it is only 10% in bonds. So it's appropriately balanced for your age and even for your inclination. The more aggressive would just be 100% stock, but I think you're fine here.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
It may not be the sexiest website in the world, but it's your one-stop shop for real money information. TalkingRealMoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
Oh, hi. 855-935-TALK. That's our phone number. How are you? Good to have you joining me here on the show. And let's get back to the phones, okay? Yeah. Mary, you're next. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hey there. I spoke to you earlier, and quick question is, what do you see is the vital difference between wealth manager and a financial advisor? And also, what is I remember, again, running in, and you had a comment about RBC Capitals. Stay away from RBC Capitals. I just want to know what's your beef with those guys.
Well, they got in a lot of trouble for selling products and not disclosing the fees associated with them.
Okay.
Plus, let me tell you, my beef is with 90% of the financial services industry. 90% of the financial services industry. Actually, it's more than that. Not too long ago, 2015, MarketWatch did a report on the number of advisors, financial advisors, wealth managers, whatever they call themselves, because none of those terms have a definition legally. None of them.
Okay.
They looked at those people. There are, how many did they say there were in the country? Oh, I'm trying to remember the exact number. About 1 million, I think. And of those, only 10,000 were always required to act in their clients' best interests.
Okay.
That's my beef with RBC. That's my beef with Chase. That's my beef with Edward Jones. That's my beef with Ameriprise. That's my beef with insurance companies, because they are not always required to put your interests ahead of their own.
I know the Vestre claims that it's 100% fiduciary, but then is there an audit process that measures that?
No, we're regulated. We're regulated solely by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So Vestre and Merriman and Aviaire Wealth, and I can list a number of really good advisors. Matter of fact, we list a ton of them on our website. We give you the names of other advisors that we believe are 100% fiduciaries on our website. We're kind of like Progressive or Santa Claus and Miracle on 34th Street. We'll tell you, there are lots of them, just not most of the people in town. And the people who are selling the hardest are usually the people who are least likely to be acting in your best interests. Because people who are acting in your best interests just get people coming in all the time. So what the difference is, we are regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission as what are called registered investment advisors. That has a legal definition. A registered investment advisor is required by law to act in the client's best interest and disclose any conflict of interest. However, a lot of people in the financial industry are both an RIA, a registered investment advisor, and a FINRA registered stockbroker. So they wear two hats.
So it's a conflict of interest sometimes.
They have a fiduciary hat when they're giving you some advice, but then they are allowed by law to take that fiduciary hat off, set it aside, and sell you a product that may not be in your best interest when they're acting as a stockbroker. And this has been a source of great contention in this country for several years. As a matter of fact, the Department of Labor passed a rule a few years ago that said anyone who advises on retirement plans has to act as a fiduciary. Well, the Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, Chase, all of these guys were up in arms, spent millions of dollars fighting it. Because they would have always had to act in your best interest. As a matter of fact, there were articles that said the indexed annuity business will go out of business if this law is allowed to stand. Well, the court said...
So then if I went with Vestry, then you would help develop a model for me, but then am I not still going through a middle person versus going directly, doing my homework, going directly
You absolutely are. You absolutely are. And of course you are. And you're paying for that service.
No, I understand.
You're going to pay for it.
I want to go for a professional. Okay.
Yeah, you're going to pay.
Be a percentage, or is it going?
Yes, it's a percentage. And let me just tell you how the percentages tend to range in this industry. The vast majority, I've researched almost every fiduciary investment advisor in the country, and the fees range, typically they're about 1 to 1.25% for the first $1 million under management. When Tom and I started Vestry, we decided we wanted to come in under that number. So we start at 0.9% for the first $1 million. That's very similar to what a good friend of ours, index-funded funds advisors in California, charges. They were people we worked with before we started Vestry. We wanted to be at the low end of the industry, but still provide the high end of service. And we found that if we don't buy expensive offices, you notice our office is not in downtown Bellevue or Seattle because it's too expensive. We don't have mahogany paneled walls. They're drywall with white paint on them. Our desks come from Wayfair. Our conference tables cost $100 each. Then we put them together. You know, we can live on that because it's best for our clients. That's what we believe. Now, we could charge less, but then we'd probably go bankrupt. So that's about as low as we can go and still stay in business.
Okay.
And I can also assure you that neither Tom nor I is rich. I drive a Nissan, he drives a Honda. We're just normal people who want to help people out and make a living doing it, but not rip people off. We'll never own a $42 million house in the Hamptons.
Okay, I just needed to kind of get a feel for who's out there, who's legit. So you said that on the website you actually list
on our website. I have a list of 5 other firms that I've checked out. I can't vouch for them and I can't recommend them, but I checked them out through my resources. I went and read their Form ADV. I know that they work with dimensional funds who we believe strongly in. I've vetted them as best I can. I cannot say that they're going to be perfect for you or, I don't know. But that's why we want you to know that there are choices, and we're one of those choices. Yeah.
Right. No, that's fair. That's great.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Thanks, Mary. I appreciate your call. And Phyllis, you're next. Welcome to Talking Real Money. Phyllis? And silence.
Those
Did I lose?
algorithms.
Hi, Phyllis.
Those algorithms that keep track of all the different factors of the economy, so that they can warn you ahead of time when you should get out of the market.
Yes, ma'am. What about them?
You have heard.
I've totally heard of them. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Are they legitimate? Do they?
It's called quantitative analysis. It relies on computer programs and a bunch of techno geeks to program things in. And yes, there are some of them that have in the past worked, but they are only offered through hedge funds to people with millions and millions of dollars, and there is no guarantee that they will work in the future. And here's the sad reality is that every hedge fund in America has access to that kind of algorithmic talent, that mathematical talent, and yet the average hedge fund over the past 20 years has underperformed just buying the stock market, buying and holding the stock market. So in aggregate, they fail. In reality, there are occasionally those who succeed, but the problem is, one, finding somebody after the fact, because we all know after the fact that they did well. We don't know about the future. And two, how do we know they're going to do well going forward? It's just dangerous. That's why we prescribe and believe in the concept of buying the broadest market and adjusting it for your risk tolerance.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Would you like to talk to a real investment advisor for free? Set up an appointment at TalkingRealMoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
They laughed when I proposed an event devoted to retirement. They laughed, and yet they showed up. And we sold out every Retire Meet for the past 5 years. And now we're coming up on number 6, Retire Meet 2020. And we're focusing on your future. Get it? Focus. You can go get tickets right now, and they're really discounted at retiremeet.com, retiremeet.com.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestry, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That's a wrap.